gentlemen, boys and girls, species of the multiverse. Welcome to Geek Syndicate episode. I have no idea what episode this is.
Welcome to Geek Syndicate episode 296. I'm introing because clearly Monts ain't got a clue, or Scooby as we like to say.
Scooby. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So.
Who are you?
I'm Monts.
I'm Nuge.
What's up, Nuge?
A.K.A. Barry, A.K.A. Thanos.
You're not Thanos.
A.K.A. Thanos. Coming for all you people next week. You best be hiding them infinity gems, because, you know what I mean? I'm going to collect them all like Pokemon, but giant and shit.
Well, you done embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good.
You know you can actually get an infinity gauntlet.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Okay.
We were in a shopping centre, Westfield in Stratford the other week, and they had a Disney shop. I thought I'd just pop in. You could get like Black Panther vibro gauntlets. I was like, oh man.
And they wonder why like grown adults are like buying this stuff. It's because we couldn't buy none of this stuff when we were kids because it didn't exist.
Yeah.
I'd have killed for all of that stuff, man.
Oh, man, do you know what? That's the thing. I was just like, one of the things I love about Black Panther is like, there's a black superhero who's going to have merchandise.
Yeah, a lot.
What would 11-year-old me have done for that?
We would have lost our minds, man.
Man, we went crazy when what's his name? Lando Calrissian turned up.
Yeah.
Do you know, and the thing is, it ain't no political thing. We just recognise someone who was vaguely like us, and it was like, wow. But then you didn't really there wasn't that much like Lando Calrissian merchandise then. But now, I mean, I walked in there was like, and there was one Black Panther. It was a series of I think it's called the Legends series of action figures.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy in the shop, he goes, have you got any Black Panther? He goes, nah, they're all gone, mate. But we've got the Titan series, we've got this series, we've got that. You can get it in this one. I'm like, there's three different versions of action figures for Black Panther out there. I'm like, what?
What a world, man. What a world.
Yeah, what a world. What a golden time.
Actually, as you mentioned Lando, have you seen any of the trailers for Solo? I
have not.
I've got to say, I don't want to be jumping any kind of gun, but it ain't looking too shabby, you know.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, my boy who's playing Lando, from Community, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know.
Donald Glover.
Yes,
Donald Glover.
Yes.
My boy is nailing it as Lando.
He was always going to, though.
He's nailing it once. And there's one little piece where he's like, Han, and throws my blaster. I'm like, I'm so cheap. The minute I saw that, I'm like, I'm all over this film.
Yeah.
I've got to say, if he can make me eat my words over this film, because I know I'm giving this film a hard time, then you go for it, Ron Howard, because...
And that's the thing, you know. That's the thing, especially with something like this. Didn't really want to see it, blah, blah, blah. But... happy, you know what I mean? Make it work. Prove me wrong. Make me eat my words. I will take joy in eating words.
Yeah. I think sometimes that's the thing we forget as geeks, you know. It's like, I can't speak for anyone else, but I can speak for myself. There's nothing I love more than when I go into a film with low expectations, like, well, you know, let's just get through this, you know. And then come out of there going like, wow, I just wasn't expecting that at all. And I'm really, I want Solo to work. I want it to be a good film, you know what I mean? Like I said, that my only concerns over it, well, besides my aforementioned concerns, is the fact that it's an origin.
I decided a long time ago, origin films bore me. Well, not bore me, but not interested. And that's, like I was saying, what I like about the Hulk movie is that it's all in the credits, and then you just gave me story. That wasn't me discovering who the character was. You just gave me story, and I could discover that as I went.
Yeah. Well, even the latest Spider-Man Homecoming did the same thing. Well, it didn't even give you...
No, yeah. That just came up in conversation. What happened? Got bitten by a spider.
Done.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, can I get bitten by the spider? The spider died, man.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
But there, and there's a couple of lines they drop where it's a little bugbear that they do with Star Wars stuff, where like they drop lines from the original trilogy or plays on those iconic, he says in inverted commas, lines. It's like, I know I'm in the Star Wars universe. You don't have to drop a line in there. I've got a bad, you know, and you know the line they keep dropping in all these shows, like I've got a bad feeling about this. And in the trailer for this, he turns and he goes, I've got a good feeling about this. And I was just like,
yeah, unnecessary.
Scratch. Why you got to do that?
You're trying to show us his character journey. Yeah. See what you did there.
Yeah. But as I said, that's a small blip. What I've seen in the later trailers, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and it's a good solid cast as well. So fingers crossed. So not long to go before we find out. But anyway, enough rambling about Solo.
Yeah.
Shout outs.
Shout out to Stuart. He's a dad from the school run. We were talking, and he made me realise that I don't need to see Ready Player One on the big screen.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I think it'd be something. I'm not going to, because life's just too full at the moment. Okay. But it made me realise I really wanted to see it on the big screen, but I'm not that bothered now. I think what he said was, it's a good movie, but it's not the book.
Okay.
And I mean, I was already screwing about a certain casting choice, which I've talked about at length before. Mm-hmm. But he's not the only person to tell me that the kind of film misses several beats that I think are quite important to the book. So a lot of the challenges that he has to face aren't the intellectual ones that require his knowledge of 80s trivia. Right. So like the first, bit of a spoiler here, but like the first challenge is like a car chase. You're like, what? But anyone can do that.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a... It's interesting because... one half of the writing team is the guy who wrote the book.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I find that really interesting, because to me, those challenges, you had to be a specific person to do that. Anyone could do a car chase. I
suppose it's whether or not they thought how well would it translate to the big screen.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But yeah, no, I hear that. But to me, that is a classic move of not trusting your audience. To me, it's like, because Harry Potter's on my mind because I'm reading the first book to my daughter every night now. But it's like that, was it? They changed the Philosopher's Stone to the Sorcerer's Stone in America.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. You know what I mean? You seriously don't trust your audience to know what a philosopher is? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how I see it.
I want to give a quick shout out to Anton Marks, a fellow writer who I met at the London Book Fair, who's also a listener to the podcast. So, what up, Anton? Good to meet you.
What's up?
And this is a shout out / question for us. So the shout out is to Darren Cook, who's been a listener for a while, and I believe supports us on Patreon as well. But so I put a call out for questions for us, and Darren asked a follow up from the last podcast: is Trish the most annoying character in Jessica Jones and the weakest link in season 2?
You've seen season 2? Haven't you?
I have seen season 2. Have you?
I'm about episode 5, I think.
Okay. We won't be spoiling it if people are listening, so don't turn off. So it's all good.
Annoying. I'm not going to say annoying. I'm going to say almost pointless.
Okay.
Not quite pointless, but sometimes I just think, what are you doing apart from getting upset about stuff? You just get upset about stuff and then just run into trouble without thinking it through. And that's fine, because that's a character trait that many supporting characters have. But it keeps happening.
Yeah.
You just keep doing it. Oh, I don't know.
I liked their relationship in the first season.
Yeah.
And I liked elements of their relationship in... I still like the relationship in the second season. However, the fact that they've given Trish her own storyline, and that storyline just didn't work for me. basically, it's as simple as that. As I said, the relationship with Jessica, I thought, and the ups and downs, I think works really well and gives a lot of dynamic to Jessica's character and stuff. But I just didn't like Trish's storyline, and she did get on my nerves. And then when it gets towards the end, it's not spoiling it. I could see what they were trying to do, and it probably annoyed me more, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I just where it ends, I just didn't like. I just like. Oh, okay. So you've done that, have you? Oh, okay. In many ways, this felt, as it goes on, weirdly, this felt more formulaic than, because I didn't find the first season formulaic at all. Whereas this one, certainly as it goes on, I just found very formulaic in terms of superhero tropes.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
It's not a patch. I don't like to do the comparing thing, but it's not really a patch on the first season.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's a fair comment. I didn't, compared to other shows, it's not awful, but it's just not a patch on the first season for me. And she's still fantastic. She's still fantastic in it, but
I struggle with her somewhat because because she so does not match my image of her from reading the comics.
Right.
I mean, really doesn't. So, that's just something I've got to get my head around, but I struggle. And what I found this time is she just keeps going, okay. And her voice is in this one tone, and she just keeps doing it. And I practically feel like I know what she's going to say.
Right, okay.
Before she says it. So I'm not as impressed. And that's not necessarily her. That's more the writing, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for that slightly downer question, Darren. Shall we crack on with some more Week That Was?
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Week That Was.
Yeah, and the Week That Was good.
Yeah. Oh man, can I start?
Yeah, you can start, man. You can start.
Just because we talk about Marvel. I have to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4.
Okay, so we're on season 5 now. So this is for people that people haven't been keeping up. It's the previous season. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
this is the Ghost Rider season, isn't it?
So yeah, I mean the thing is, we've been watching this. I don't know. We've been doing a lot of Marvel stuff throughout our pregnancy, and we've been watching Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we just and of an evening we watch it, and we're just like, you know what, we're going to be giving birth soon. Actually, the due date was 2 days ago as we're recording this, so we're on high alert, so to speak. But one thing I've learned about having the baby is it's important to be rested beforehand, just to get your energy and your strength up. And it's like, yeah, we should go to bed. Got to watch another episode. Just got to watch another episode. Yeah, it's so damn good. So you had 3 storylines. So you started off with the Ghost Rider storyline.
Yeah.
Then you went into the kind of LMD storyline, the Life Decoy.
Yeah.
/ Inhumans one, and then you went into Agents of Hydra.
Yeah.
And what interesting, they're separate storylines, but they are all linked. Yeah, they all depend on each other. So the way it's been weaved in is genius. Yeah. But the writing is up there. Every single performance is up there. And it's just like, it's like 1 minute, Fitz gets his dad mentioned, and then suddenly, like 6 episodes later, you suddenly realise that was really important.
Yeah.
And Mac mentions his daughter who was stillborn. Yeah, and almost loses his relationship because he goes back to comfort. Is it, why are you going to see your ex? Because our daughter was stillborn and she needs help. And for me and Siobhan watching that, having had a stillborn daughter, we were just like, we get it.
Yeah.
And then he goes inside and he sees his daughter. And I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but one of the things that happens with stillborn children, the symbol is a butterfly. You call them your butterfly baby. It's one of those things. His daughter, Hope, who's 10, in this virtual world was wearing a butterfly dress, a dress with butterflies on it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody thought that shit through.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there going, this is tight. This is tight. And it's that whole thing of like, come on, Mac, we've got to get out now. And he's like, I can't leave but this isn't real, because she laughs at my jokes. When she's scared, I cuddle her. It's real to me. And we were just sitting there just going, oh, wow.
Oh, but go on. You were going to say something else.
So I've only got one more. So once this, I'm keen to get this recorded done, because we got one episode left in the season. So no offense.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's also like, it's like when Ada comes out of the virtual world and she's a real person, she's able to feel emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she faces down the rush and he goes, oh, congratulations, emotion, but you're like a child. This is all new to you. And then when she gets rejected by Fitz, Siobhan just went, children have no impulse control. Yeah. And she went mad. And I was like, again, the writing is just taking it. Children have no impulse control, and she's basically a child.
Yeah.
No impulse, also quite psychopathic. But that's beside the point. Every step of this season, and it's like having this kind of 3 storyline format has just meant they've had to be tight. There's no room for filler episodes. And I'm just blown away by this season. Pity the fools who gave up on S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, a couple of high points for me, right? And there's payoffs that are still coming for you, right? Fitz, I'm telling you, right? Fitz's arc is up there with Wesley out of Angel.
Yep.
Easily.
Yep.
How he was able to play that, how he is in the framework, I'm just like, and make you buy it that this is a nasty, nasty piece of work.
Anyway, you know what? You keep waiting for him, to find an element of who he used to be. Yeah. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
Right. So you got that. Let me back up a little bit. There's a little piece. So what S.H.I.E.L.D. does, I think, really well is give you payoffs to like random characters, like minor characters. And
Davis.
There's a piece where they got to get out.
Yeah.
And you got a couple of the S.H.I.E.L.D. operative guys, and he's like, well, I can kind of fly up. I've done my training and whatever. Right.
That was okay. Davis.
Davis, isn't it? Yeah, you're up, right? And there's that piece where like May and Coulson, the LMDs, are kind of talking, and they're just Daisy and Simmons. They're just beat, and they're trying to get into like the ship, and the guy's there, and you see him running up to help them, and they get in there. And what I like is, up until that point, Davis is kind of a little bit meek and timid. I kind of know what I'm doing. But there's a little shot where he's kind of like trying to work the play. And you see him, and you don't hear what he's saying, but you see him pointing people going, no, that part, no, do this, no, do that. And he just, it was odd. It was odd, man.
See, and there's a bit where he's trying to do evasive maneuvers, and people go, have you done this? He goes, yeah, because of course I didn't think about that. And it was like a bit goes, come on, Davis, you got to fly this. And he's like, one more time and I will put down the controls just so I can slap you. It's like, go on, Davis. And then like he comes through and the dude does just like pats him on the shoulder. And it's just like, okay,
yeah,
you will put it on the line.
But also 2 more moments, right? 2 more moments. These are my 2 moments, yeah. For not only for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. One is you took a character who was annoying, Weasley, all the rest of it, and you turned him into Captain America, and I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it, and I will put my hand up and say, when that, and it's Jeffrey Mace, who was the Patriot.
Yeah.
When that man died, right, I cried. I was in tears. When he was holding up the bill, he's like, "Get them out!" I was gone. Gone.
And but because also you're sitting there going, Ada took away their regrets, and his one regret was that he wasn't the man that he could have been.
Yeah.
And he didn't shirk from it, and he gave his all.
Nah, I done. I was properly in tears, man.
But also, you brought right on Amazon Prime. I was watching it, and you can see they've got a still shot for the next episode Yeah, so for every episode up there, you just got a picture. And the next one, I was like, saw a picture of Ward, and I was like, oh, really? Come on. And you made me care about Ward.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? And I was like, oh, you really bringing him in again?
Yeah.
And then, if it wasn't bad enough, you went and brought Trip back in, and that finished me.
That finished me because, but I was like, I looked at that and I went, come on, man, you gave Trip the worst death, but look at this guy kicking it. Trip was up there, man. I was like, Trip, man. And it's like the bit where he's talking to like, what's her name? Quake. What's her name is? Daisy. And he's going, so to me and you, in this world you'll come from, and me and you, he goes, nope. Goes, me and May? He went, no. Because what about me? And he goes, no. And he goes, and this world is better how? I was like, yeah, that's a line. That's a line.
But I'm saving the best for last. And I know, so are they at the framework now?
Yeah.
Right, I'm saving the best for last. Because I'm not just a history teacher. My name is Phil Coulson. And I'm an agent
of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh! But do you know what's so Coulson? Yeah, so when I was in the framework and he's walking, and the first time he's walking onto a Quinjet, the way he walks is like someone who's never seen action before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, acting on point.
Yeah.
And do you know who was great acting-wise? Because, and I said to Siobhan, this woman, this is the role of her life because she has had to do every emotion in the book, including lack of emotion.
Is that May?
No, the woman playing Ada.
Yes, yeah.
Because she did Emotionless Robot. She did Robot Trying to Learn. She did Betrayed Lover. She did Madam Hydra. She did Woman Experiencing Emotion for the First Time. She's done Psychopath. She's done the whole range, and she had a way that just made her look different in every role. Yeah, and it wasn't just the makeup; there was just something about her eyes and the way she did it that was just amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, it's a show people ain't. There's another show I'm going to talk about after this. That for me is up there. Yeah, but it's just brilliant, and season 5, no let up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's no let up.
I was kind of like, I was thinking about season 5. I was like, where'd you go from here, man?
You go dark.
Okay. I think I'll give that a bit of a rest before I go.
It's funny because season 5 starts off and I was a little bit unsure about it, and then it hits its stride, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know why I was even worried about it. It just knocks it out of the park. It's a brilliant show. Absolutely love that show. Weirdly, the minute it veered away from worrying about getting cameos in from the films is when it kind of come alive for me.
Yeah. But you know, I was like May, like all-time favorite character, and I still can't believe that woman's over 50.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I was like, she could give Black Widow a run for her money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if some of these don't even get a little cameo in Infinity War, it's a crime.
I know, because I feel they've earned it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They've earned it.
Another thing is they're an established part of that universe in a much more obvious way than like so Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and all that and Daredevil, they're all part of that same universe, but they are much more linked to the cinematic universe. Do you know what I mean?
It would be much easier to pull them in than it would be to pull in your Jessica Jones and your Cage.
And you don't even have to do it in a big way.
No,
you just have to show them doing their part.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope they've got some like stuff in Infinity War we're not expecting.
And May's pulling off moves, and you know, every time I watch a movie, Black Widow pulls off some moves.
Yeah,
May's pulling off moves every week.
Yeah, nah, it's a show, man. It's a show. How I've got to say though, I do want to talk comments briefly because I know we've talked quite a bit, but I finished watching. So now I was telling you about a show called Travellers.
Yeah,
on Netflix.
Can I just say, I didn't realise that there was a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. web series called Slingshot about Yo-Yo.
Yes, there is. I haven't seen it actually. I only just realised that tonight. I think I started to watch it and it was good, but I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't finish it.
But anyway, yeah. Get on with
So
it.
I finished watching season 2 of Travelers.
Season 2.
Finished. Yeah. Given the fact last time we spoke, I was about halfway through season 1.
Yeah, that's what.
That should tell you. When you're done with Agents of Shield, that's where you're going.
Okay.
Right. That for me that's my discovery of this year so far.
Right.
It's money. The world building is tight, and the world building shifts. I don't really want to say too much, but the world building shifts almost on an episode by episode basis, and yet it still holds up. I would put it's very, in some ways, it reminds me of Agents of Shield actually, just in terms of like you're focusing on a team of people. Mm-hmm. But just this idea, because I think I explained to you before what the basic idea was.
Yeah.
People coming from the future, or whatever. But just this idea of teams, and you don't know who's going to be a traveller, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's just one of them shows that not a lot of people seem to be talking about in the same way. And I think people talk about the bigger shows, you know, like your Game of Thrones and your Westworld and all them sort of shows, and they're good shows. But I just think there's shows like this which are just consistently good.
Yeah.
Not putting the foot wrong, you know, really thinking about what they want to do with their story and stuff like that. And it's very much substance over style, you know. And for me, Travellers is one of them shows, and I've got to say, season 2's introduces you to a kind of like a big bad, and I've got to say, villain.
Okay.
When the plan comes apparent, villain. I had to stand up and applaud, and I was like, you know what? I know you're supposed to be the bad guy, but yeah, proper. At the end of season 2, and we've got a long wait now, but at the end of season 2, I was just like, it was jaw dropping.
Okay.
So yeah,
there's so much to watch.
Yeah.
Because I watched Krypton, the first episode of Krypton.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I said to you, I can't remember. I thought I didn't know this was a show that I wanted. So, you know, whether it holds up with what it started with has to be seen. But I'm interested. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to add something else to the roster.
Yeah.
And I also watched the first episode of Lost in Space.
Oh, okay. I've been hearing quite good things about this.
Yeah, no, it's a lot happens in it. A lot happens in that first episode, and I think there's a lot of promise there. I'm keen to see where it goes.
Okay.
And there's one bit. There's one bit where finally, I'm not going to say what happens, but it's a moment.
Okay.
And you listen, and the music just goes. I can't remember how it goes now. The music. Yeah, kind of like that, but you know, more like the actual theme tune, rather than your admittedly ropey rendition.
Yeah,
As it
is that supposed to be better than what I just did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's got melody, man.
Yeah, dream on, man. Just because you add a bit of bass, don't make it any better.
All right. So yeah, no, it's worth a watch. I mean, I don't know if all episodes are, but that first episode's like an hour, a full hour. So yeah, there's that. We haven't got a lot of time left. Do you want to talk comics?
Yeah, let's talk comics.
Or a comic.
A comic. Do you want to give the spiel in the intro?
Sure. So this is a comic from. Let me just get it up. From. Is it? Oh, 1 second. I feel like being Hellbound Media. Who I haven't been aware of before. And I'm just looking at their sort of catalogue of stuff, and I'm so interested. And it's all horror-based stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just quite like the sound of it. This character is called Mandy, Mandy the Monster Hunter. And I was like, okay, that didn't really inspire me with too much confidence, to be honest. Except I saw the title of this sort of series. Mm-hmm. So it's Mandy the Monster Hunter, Legend of the Spindly Man. And there's just something about that title that just got me.
Yeah.
So the blurb says, children are vanishing. The police have no leads. A small town holds its breath in anticipation of the next disappearance. The children need Mandy. She's the thing that the things in the dark are afraid of. Until now. Oh, that's a blurb.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen, because there's one which is a bit longer, where it says, Mandy hunts monsters. Her name is whispered on the playground, a legend among the children of the world. Whatever creature troubles you, when the adults won't listen, it is Mandy that can help you out. All you need to do is draw a picture of the beast, and it will reach her.
Yeah, see, I went into it not knowing any of that, and that comes apparent.
Neither did I. I read the blurb after I read the first issue.
Yeah. So it's written by Matt Warner and Mark Adams. The artist is Lyndon White. The letterer is Nikki Foxrobot. I just love that.
That's cool.
And it says Creepy Spaghetti, Amy Cummins. What? Okay. And yeah, so it's about this woman who basically fights monsters. And she's met one, and it's called The Legend of the Spindly Man. And he just, do you know what? The way they build up his appearance is creepy as all hell.
I don't know what the age group of this is, but I can say as a 48, about to turn 49-year-old man, that the Spindly Man scared the bejesus out of me. Partly, obviously, because some of his intro is to do with spiders and things like that. But it genuinely scared the bejesus out of me.
And a genius way they explain what happens to all your odd socks.
Yeah.
I like that.
But also as well, like going back to what you were saying about not liking Origins and stuff, and given the fact that I went into this completely cold with I hadn't even read the blurb, I just picked up the first issue. Because this is a Kickstarter. Well, issue 1 was a Kickstarter, and obviously it hit its target. And now issue 2 is also a Kickstarter, and I think it's just about to hit its target. It's still going. I'll put the link in the show notes. And the way... There's no origin.
No.
Right? But there's enough world building to give you the lay of the land.
To give you... Yep, exactly. And it already it's made me want to go, is there any more Mandy comics?
Yes. Yeah.
Who is she?
Yeah. Weirdly, it made me want to go, is there an origin?
Yeah, I know.
Weirdly.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a line in the first page that gets me as a kid. Basically, so I read this after putting my kids to bed.
Yeah.
I literally came downstairs, picked this up and read it. And the opening word is bedtime. Okay.
Do you know what? I read the first 3 pages. This is why I bought this comic, and then I gave it to you to read, because I thought we needed to talk about it. The first 3 pages of that was all that was on their Kickstarter page, and I read that, and that was enough for me to go and buy it. Because it was terrifying.
It was the way that the kid's obviously scared, and his mum's like, "Don't worry, I've checked the whole room. There's no monsters." He goes, "I promise, there's no monster under the bed." And the kid just goes, "I know, the monster under the bed is scared of him too." I was like, "Oh, dude,
wrong.
What's about to happen?"
Wrong. You know? I'm just glad there is no under my bed, because my bed it lies flat to the ground.
Yeah, likewise.
Standard, man. That's how you buy your bed. You know what I mean?
It did take me a little while to get... I was going to say it took me a while to get into the art, but do you know what? I loved that first page, and it's like there's a kind of a big shot of the street and bedtime. It's really atmospheric, so I'm going to take that back. Actually,
I thought for the story they were telling, and certainly when you do get to see the Spindly Man, the way he's introduced, I think the art worked really well. There were a couple of... I don't know how you found it, and maybe had I been reading it printed as opposed to digital, so I want to give the benefit of the doubt. Some of the lettering I found a bit difficult to read.
Was that near the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit where there's a rhyme that the kids say about the Spindly Man, and the rhyme is brilliant. Yeah, the rhyme is as creepy as, but the lettering is a little bit too stylized to make reading easy. So it kind of took me out of it a little bit, because I had to really focus on what I was looking at get that.
And I was the same. And I was kind of thinking, I don't know if that was because this was the digital version, and if I had the printed copy, I would be able to read it. But to be fair, if you're doing print and AD in digital, they should be, regardless, it should be easy to read. And I don't know, maybe it was the quality of the PDF. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, that was an issue for me. But not enough to take me out of it completely, but it was...
No. But that's pretty my only niggle, because I just thought... it basically, that was a comic that made me go, what else do these guys do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that to me, that speaks volumes.
So, Mandy the Monster Hunter, thumbs up from both of us. Issue 1 is out now. And as I said, there's a Kickstarter going around the houses for issue 2, which I will put a link in the show notes. But yeah, check it out. Whether I don't know if I could say this is all ages, because I wouldn't be reading that sucker at night. So,
do you know what I mean? Enough said.
Here's the thing: would you be reading that? Would you read that to your kids as a bedtime?
Hell no.
Gay.
Hell no. Yeah. You can call it an all ages story if you want, but hell. No, it's all right. So there's a TV show called, it's a cartoon. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's I've watched it with my daughter, and I was happy for her to watch it. She's 6. Mm-hmm. And it's about this Mexican village that kind of almost gets destroyed, and this boy goes on a quest to find the bad guys that destroyed it, and his companions are some kind of weird animal. It's obviously there for comic effect. The ghost of an old conquistador.
Oh, cool.
The ghost of a modern girl with a cell phone, who's like a dead girl from the future. A girl from his village, and they're on this flying ship.
Right.
And they're going, and they keep encountering people who are from the Brotherhood of whatever, and they're dedicated to killing these bad guys, and they've been waiting for this young kid because he's going to lead them or whatever. So it's quite cool. And they go to place, have adventures, and it's quite like, even though it's quite dark, it's very light-hearted. Mm-hmm. Until this one episode with kind of looked like a ventriloquist dummy.
Right.
That they got on board the shop, and then this thing started hunting them. Apparently every 100 years it comes to life and sucks the souls of people around it, and it turns them into like little action figures.
Damn, that's dark.
And he's the last one on board, and all his friends have been to action figures. And when you get them dolls that kind of on all fours scuttling towards you?
Yeah.
There's a lot, and the doll don't talk. It don't laugh. It don't say. It just looks at you and comes. Yeah.
Is this a comic?
No, it's a cartoon.
Oh, cartoon. Okay.
I've got to try and remember what it's called. Since that episode, my daughter doesn't like to be in a room alone.
Don't blame her. Neither would I, man.
But I was like, I've watched this show, man. How can you? And I've loved. How can you? And it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But how can you just drop an episode like that without warning? Do you know what I mean? You ain't been doing that. Just like, man.
It's like,
and that's when it turned out there's been these two little fit creatures that look like dolls who've been around all the time, and you kind of notice them, but you haven't noticed them. But it turns out they've been put there to protect you, and they protect them, and they've been protecting them the whole time.
Right.
And then he kind of remembers, oh yeah, when that thing happened, that was a weird thing, and that was a weird thing. It turns out it was these two little toys that are trying to protect him. Wow. So it's deep, man. But it's fun. It's just lighthearted. But you can't be dropping proper full-on horror episodes on a 6-year-old without warning, man.
Yeah.
Because I got to pay for it.
Yeah.
I want to be in this room with my own daddy. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Before we round up, because what I might do is I might put the Marvel one out as a Patreon thing and then put that out next week.
Yeah.
Is very quickly, I wanted to talk to you just for a couple of minutes. We'll talk more at length next episode. But have you been watching Black Lightning?
That was on my list. I have been watching Black Lightning.
How far have you got with it?
I'll tell you in just a second because I can't remember. I kind of Black Lightning robots. I'm on episode 9.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty far on. I'm on episode. I've just watched the penultimate one, which I think is episode 11.
Episode 12. I've got 13 episodes.
Okay,
listed.
no, yeah, it's episode 12. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Loving it. I am loving it.
I am.
For me, so Luke Cage tried to wear its politics on its sleeve, mm-hmm. and it felt a bit forced to me. Black Lightning wears its politics on its sleeve, and it just flows really naturally.
I think one of the things is it doesn't forget that it's a superhero show.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it works for me, because the politics is part of the plot of the superhero show, but he doesn't...
I'll give you an example. One of the things that annoyed me about Luke Cage is, they were trying to celebrate the Harlem Renaissance, this, Harlem as a place and its history and black writing and so on, which was great. I think that's great. But what would happen is it'd go, I see you're reading so-and-so. I'm a, man myself. And they'd have a little discussion and then they'd get on with the show.
Yeah.
Now, I was watching Black Lightning and he was sitting there reading a book called A Brief History of Seven Killings, which is the first Man Booker Prize to be won by a Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and he was holding it up so you could see the cover clear as day. That was it.
Yeah.
Job done. Didn't make a thing of it. It was there. If you know what to look for, if you're interested in those kind of details, you notice it. Maybe they could have made a slightly bigger thing of it, but they didn't. And I don't know. It flows. It doesn't forget it's a superhero show as well.
Yeah. But I think they make a bigger thing. They do that in a better way in other ways, if that makes sense.
Yes. No. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, I love the family dynamic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it works well. Also, I really like the way they've done the daughter's power. Is it Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah. The way they do her power, and if she holds her breath, it's done well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you always wonder about the dynamics of power, and actually, this is quite nice because it kind of go, okay, yeah, she kind of focus it with her breath, and And then when her dad's training her and he's going, you just make, you breathe at the wrong time.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, given the amount of superhero shows that are on at the moment on TV, forget film for a second, just on TV, they're able to be quite, they still come across, the action sequences still come across quite inventive.
Yes.
Especially when the two of them are fighting together.
I only got one niggle.
Go for it.
I'm still struggling with his costume, man.
Do you know, her costume is fine.
Yep.
But I find that partly the fact
he's a big bulky and unwieldy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a big dude anyway. But you add the costume on, and it looks like... I used to have an Action Man, which was a Space Ranger Action Man. And I never really liked the outfit that he came in, because it was basically like a rubber suit, and it just seemed like I couldn't really pose him in the way I wanted to. And that feels a little bit like Black Lightning suit. It's like, how are you fighting? It's like if you got attacked by ninjas, he's done. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And the other thing was, and I think you said this, was like, how could people not tell it? How could your best friend not tell it's you? Because you said this, he's got a very specific sort of facial hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, one mask isn't going to confuse anybody, really. Anyone who knows you really well.
Even with like a voice modulator. Do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You're a big dude. He's a big dude. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, not everyone shaves the same way you do. You know what I mean? But then, if Superman could get away with it, Black Lightning could get away with it. So, no, I'm loving that show. Yeah.
But as I said, the only thing that it's not really a spoiler, but the only thing about that track is you got one of the main bad guys. He's a white dude, and he's dropping lines like "you people" and proper racist dude. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He's got black people working for him. I'm just like,
well, he's black himself. He's just an albino. No.
This isn't Tobias Well. This is.
Oh, you mean? The guy who? Yeah. I know you might.
The dude, the guy I'm talking about. Then the one who works for.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, maybe he ain't seen him drop some of his lines yet, but he's as racist as all. And he's literally saying things like, you people. Right? And he's got, you look around the man's office, you've got brothers there like tapping at computers and stuff. I'm like, how's that work? Do you know what I mean? I'm all for a paycheck, dude, but come on. You know what I mean? And that's what I struggle with, is because I don't understand the logic of it. Unless you're going to say to me he's threatening their families or whatever. At least with the Tobias Well one, I quite like. It's uncomfortable, but I understand his logic.
Yeah, no, I do.
And I quite like that they were brave about it and said basically because of the fact that he got as a kid, because he was albino and that's where he's gone that way and whatever. So I kind of get that, but with this other guy, he got brothers and sisters working for him, and he's blatantly racist government dude, and you're good with that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is. It's a great show. It is a great show, man.
Yeah, all over that.
Yeah. I think we should round up, man.
Yeah, so there you go. You know the drill. Tell us if you agree with our what do you call it?
Reviews.
I've lost my mind. Tell us if you agree with what we've been saying, basically. Our opinions on Marvel, our opinions on TV. Disagree with us if you like, and you can do it by emailing us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk or getting hold of us on Twitter. It's an easy way. Don't forget, we've got a Facebook page. We've got a Tangerine page. Not called Tangerine. What is it? Instagram.
Tangerine? What the hell?
I don't know. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah, well, I'm going to use this moment as an opportunity to say that next week I will be co-hosting a 24-hour podcast live with Stacey Taylor of Stacey's Parlour and Stacey Barry in the Morning to raise money for the British Heart Foundation, which is quite a personal charity for me this time round because both my mum and my brother were victims of heart disease and sadly passed away. So for me, it's quite a biggie for me, this cause. So we're going to be doing it for 24 hours from next Saturday. This is my second time doing this, and last year it was hard going. We had a lot of fun, but it is hard going. If you think recording for 24 hours is easy, it isn't, and we will be interviewing.
But you know what? It's not just that you're recording. It's not just that you're recording for 24 hours. It's like 24 interviews.
It is 24 interviews.
That's hard work,
back
man.
to back. And some of the people we've got lined up. Have you heard of a comic called I Kill Giants?
Yeah.
The creator of that, Joe Kelly, he's going to be on.
Nice.
If I said the name Townsend Coleman, would that mean anything to you?
Yeah. Tamsin, did you say?
Townsend.
No.
So, but if I said Spoon, would that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
So Townsend Coleman was the voice of the Tick from the cartoon show.
Nice.
We've got some of the team behind Porcelain. Danny Abraham, Vince Hunt, Bevis Musson, and more. So yeah, so that's all going to be kicking off next Saturday from 9 a.m. So I'll put links into the show notes. Please, if you can, donate and listen and support us, because it's going to be a long, bumpy, but hopefully fun, crazy, and I imagine drunk ride.
Yeah, nice. Cool. All right, so till next time. Well, and don't forget, next time will be me and Barry together, having just seen Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah.
Well, just keep an eye on Facebook, because we'll be posting when we'll be doing our live session, and we will be doing a non-spoiler impression of the movie.
We can't say when we'll be seeing it, but what we can say is we will be seeing it before general release. So
yes,
that's us done.
So till next time, Geek Syndicate, we out.